What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. We are back on some MX bikes, and the track that we are playing today is one that's been out for a little while actually. It's called Deal Freeride, or Deal V1 I believe it's called in game. And I have played this track in the past actually. I played it when it first released with Reese and Steez, and it must be, without a doubt, the most wide fucking open track that is in the game. Like you don't really have to shut off anywhere whatsoever. Now, when I played it back then, sorry, little frog in my throat. When I played it back then, we was all on 450s, so I don't actually know if all of the jumps are doable on a 250. I'm on the KTM 252 stroke right now, so that's what we're going to see today. I'm going to try and run some heaters. We'll see how it goes. I've got the updated tyres on, but I don't know what soil type the track is, so I'm sure as soon as we get to somewhat of a high-paced corner, we'll certainly find that out, and that seems to track pretty well, so I'm quite confident in saying that it is a soft soil track, which is good for us. But yeah, this track was made by Deal himself, so track named after the man. Oh, I've completely forgotten which way it goes. Oh shit, this is a jump to the left. Oh god. Straight over the bars. That's not a good start. Is this... Oh, actually, that was one thing. Oh yeah, so back when we was playing this as well, one thing we found that there's some parts of the track that if you crash on, you're just screwed. Like you can't get over like the next 3 or 4 jumps, and because the track is so fast as well, if you're playing with people, if you do go down, it's so difficult to actually make up any time with anyone unless they crash as well. But I suppose for some of the more casual players, this is probably a really good fun track. I mean, there's a handful of big jumps to be thrown it sideways on. One right here, for example. Try and send us sideways for the fans. That wasn't too bad. And I'm really enjoying my MX bikes as of late. Now, I'm trying to limit myself as much as possible because every Thursday when I do the aerial EU and NA championships, I'm pretty sure I have MX bikes open for a total of probably like 6 or so hours across the 2 championships, and that itself does sometimes tend to burn me out. So what I've been doing throughout the week is just really limited my bike's time as much as possible. I'll do the occasional other video here or there where maybe I'm playing for 30 minutes or so, but other than that, I've not been touching the game too much, and I found that now when I do hop on the game, I enjoy it a bit more. And especially since Hurren, big shout out to Hurren as well, since he sent me over his shader options, everything has just looked so much sexier. There's something about just the reflections on the front fender of the bike that I absolutely love, and I showed it the settings at the end of my last video. I'm going to look into possibly sorting out like a Google Drive link or a download you can get from somewhere, but I'm not gonna... Don't hold me to that, because I'm currently recording this very late at night, and that is not really what you want to be doing, falling off the edge of the map. So yeah, I'm actually in a little bit of a rush today in terms of video and stuff, because it's Wednesday for me right now, and so tomorrow I'm doing aerial, so I'm actually going to be busy for the entire day, and I've been trying my very best to grind out some of the Legends career mode stuff as well. There's actually a lot of stuff that I'm having to do off camera, because for the most part it gets a little bit repetitive in terms of just doing the same tracks but on different vehicles just to progress through the series. But as a whole, I'm very 50-50 with it. There's some parts of the game that I agree, absolutely massive letdown. The audio's a bit trash, the physics are quite clunky. However, I've now progressed enough to the point where I'm on a faster bike and an upgraded bike, not the stock 125 that you get given. And I'm also doing like supercross tracks and such, and it's actually so much more enjoyable than what you get just base game. So if you have got the game and you've not refunded it yet, stick with it for like a couple of hours until you get better bikes and you get better tracks. Like Supercross really shocked me. I actually thoroughly enjoy Supercross on that game. So it's not all doom and gloom. And oh my god, was there even a takeoff on that jump? Hang on, I got to spin around. I got to do this again. Oh. Let's ignore that completely. I'm going to go all the way back to this corner over here. Try and survive. Rob. Yeah, I feel like there was no takeoff on that to be able to go over that double. So let's try our luck again. I want to jump to the far right-hand side out of this corner, just to be able to hit the berm. Give myself as much of a run-up as possible. Oh yeah, no, that's fine. You can see, so we're almost like in a... almost like a ditch the whole way around the track, where it's got these massive boulders on the left and the right hand side. Oh my god, that was close. And what they actually seem to be doing is, I mean, it seems it could be a good thing and a bad thing. So if you kind of take off on the far side, you say super, super low. But then at the same time, some jumps, it means you can't get all the way over it, like the one that I just had to redo. But then others, massive time saver. So if you're someone that likes going for your hot laps and pushing your limits, there's a cheeky little line for you. I know some people are... Oh, what's the word? Like, some people are a little bit against hitting the low lines. One thing... Oh, a little bit off topic. I don't know how many people often watch kind of like pro practice days and stuff, whether it be like Tomac Parlor, for example, you know, just like raw footage that you see. I only really notice it in America, but a whole lot of the time, I always see pros kind of like take off on the edge of a jump, like scrubbing the side of it, so they don't actually hit the full lip. They get to almost hit like a lower takeoff to stay lower and get more speed and stuff, which on the surface, yeah, it's smart, you know, it's what you want to do. You want to kind of keep your bike as low as possible, get to the ground quicker, and then go again. It's just how you carry more speed. But at the same time, I feel like every time I see it, I feel like it's a little bit scummy. Because you technically are cutting the track in a way, and granted, if everyone's doing it, then it really doesn't matter, does it? If everyone's doing it, you're all getting the same advantage. It's not the end of the world. But, oh, please don't go off the track again, please. Oh, God, that was close. I think that turns to black as soon as you get past that tree right there. But yeah, it's a little bit scummy, in my opinion. I'm very, very interested to know your thoughts on that. And I know sometimes they do it on jumps that don't really have much in the way of markings, but I've seen ones before where they've had, like, you know, the normal yellow stakes or track markers, whatever you want to call them, and they've been going around them and taking off over them as well. That's, I know it's slightly off topic, but I feel like it kind of relates to what I'm talking about here. Granted, we've got SpongeBob's on the takeoff of these jumps, and I'm still jumping well within limits. I'm not going around them at all. But yeah, just food for thought. I'd like to know everyone else's opinion. I don't know if it's just me being like a stickler for the rules, but I know in races that I've done in the past, if anyone has ever kind of cut the track in any way to come past me, I end up absolutely fuming under my helmet. Oh god, I get so pissed off by it, and I just kind of, I feel like I go into Barsha mode and I just want to take the guy out in the next corner. Just, oh, there's something about it that irks me so much. Just, if you can't play by the rules to win, then I just feel like you're a little bit of a scumbag. That's all I have to say on that. What day is... Oh shit, when's this video going live? So this, I believe, goes out on Friday. So yeah, no, I get to talk about this now. I've been informed, granted I don't keep up too up to date in the big world of motocross, you know, I just watch the races when they're on, and that's it for the most part. I don't follow any magazines or anyone on Twitter or this, that and the other. I've been informed that Chance Hymas, Ryder Di Francesco and Hayden Deegan are all going to be riding Redbud this coming race, which I think is really fucking sick. And I'm going to throw my prediction out there now. I think my money's on Hymas for placing the best out of all three of them. I just feel like he's been riding really well from what I've seen. I've not seen anything behind the scenes. I don't know if one rider is particularly good at Redbud over the others. I'm sure they've all ridden there in the past in some capacity in one way or another, but I'm really excited to see it. If they aren't actually riding, and I've been completely lied to by I think it was actually Charlie that messaged me about it, then I'm going to be going after him and being like, why are you making me look like a twat on the internet? That's not very cash money, not very Fergalicious of you. So yeah, that's actually I get excited for the AMA races anyway. I think the racing this year has been phenomenal, and it's just given me another reason to be even more excited by it. I hope that they all make it through qualifying. They should do. You know, I mean, if you're thinking of turning pro in the next year or two, then you should be qualifying in the top 36 at least, if not making it through the LCQ. If they still do LCQs, I have no idea. I'm that out of the loop. But yeah, no, really good stuff. And the last round, literally high point, was some of, across all classes, was some of the best racing I've seen in years. It was so much fun. And yeah, the American scene right now is just, it does it for me. I can't remember the last time I generally sat down and watched any MXGP because it just bores me. You know, the lack of depth of field is disgusting. You've got the same couple of top guys the entire time. I mean, they're going to be going to Thailand, where I think they've got something like 15 people or so signed up in the MX2 class, which is absolutely disgusting. Like, how can a professional governing body allow that to be the case? And I think it just goes to wherever the money is. You know, obviously Thailand want to run an event, but nobody can make it there, or it's not worth the travel, and it's definitely a bit of a weird situation. But yeah, I've not properly watched GP in a very, very long time, which is, I don't really mind. The only issue that I ever have is if I want to kind of watch all of the AMA stuff live, and a lot of the time it does, I mean, especially on the Supercross, not so much outdoors, it does run into the early hours of the morning for me quite often. But I feel like at this point in my life, I've basically, my body has just become like it's got an American body clock. The amount of times I have to stay out for races on bikes, for example, or watch anything American, it's crazy. And I sleep twice a day basically at this point. I sleep 4 or so hours at night before I have to get up to work again. Then I get home from work and I sleep another 2-3 hours or so. So yeah, my whole routine right now is pretty boofed. But you know what? We move. We make do. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. Ah, god damn it. And that right there has just reminded me. I put out a poll on Wednesday about what people would most like to be seen fixed in MX bikes over anything else, and literally 60% of people, at the time of recording this, about 700 people voted, so that is about 400 people voted that they want low speed physics fixed, which I completely agree with, but it did shock me. I did think that it would be like crashing to desktop and stuff that would kind of take the win on what people want fixed first and foremost, but yeah, low speed physics was a massive, massive winner, which did surprise me. And I took a screenshot of it. I sent it in the beta testers chat, so Boso, Cinety's responded to it. So who knows, with your guys' input, hopefully we can get some positive changes towards the game moving forwards, because I feel like I see a little bit of a stalemate right now where there's not a whole lot of movement. And the only thing that I've really played the game for, A, is to show you guys what new tracks come out and hopefully get you guys excited to play the game a little bit more and maybe play a track that you wouldn't have thought of before. And then B, the only other reason is for the aerial stuff. I do enjoy the competitive aspect, and I just wish that the whole thing worked a bit more seamlessly. I know on Sim, for example, you can get all of the 250 riders, all of the 450 riders, and some of their friends in the server as well to even spectate them and tell them what's going on, all in one server. So the whole event could just be run from in one server, all the races back to back, no problem at all. But that's not the case in bikes. As you know, we have 30-man races instead of 40, and we have separate servers for both classes just so we don't overload them. And there's a fair few quality of life changes that I just think the game does desperately need, which I'm hopeful for one day. I'm hoping it will come one day. But I think you get the gist of this track. You can see it is literally wide open everywhere, and I'm clearing the jumps no problem at all now on the 252 stroke, so I'm sure you could get away with it on a 254 stroke. If you're absolutely rapid and cracked at the game, you might even be able to get away with it on a 125 as well. But yeah, good track. I enjoy it. It's fun for like the occasional 10-20 minutes if you just want to absolutely haul ass and get a bit immersed in the game. And I think that'll do it for me. So thank you, Deal, for this track. I'm surprised I didn't do a video on it sooner. It completely kind of disappeared from my mind until I was scrolling through the mods page again and came across it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please do drop a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hope you have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you guys are up to. And until I catch you in the next video. Peace.
I'm working hard, I'm sacrificing my life, I'm sacrificing my mind, I'm sacrificing my sanity, but most importantly, I'm sacrificing my time. Boy, I feel fine, I feel like I am a king. Honestly, I can't complain. Even with faith that's the size of a grain of some salt, I will still move a mountain and do what I want. I got